So our first theme, safety in the physical environment, it became very apparent that we needed to build trust in Bellambi community, and that there were issues around graffiti, rubbish piling up, people not feeling so safe in their community that we really needed to work on, and that weren't too hard for us to get started on, and it's really important to do that, to start to build trust so that then we can engage more with people. Maureen Cobbolero was supposed to be presenting this morning, but she had to go and attend to some other urgent business, so I'm an imposter for her section and I'm presenting. So I've been involved in a lot of them, but I might not get all the housing lingo right, so please just call out if I get it wrong, or talk to me later, or Jean will tell me if I get it wrong. So the safety in the physical environment work began with housing, police, council really being the key stakeholders with community in this work. And so, one example is that housing and police started to go around and do door knocks and proactive door knocking in the community to speak with residents and to encourage them to report crime. As a result, there were very significant increases in reporting to Crime Stoppers, and that was really exciting. Even though crime reporting stats went up, it was exciting because this was a community where people were saying to us, no, don't report, because why? What's the point? Nothing ever happens. So it was great to see community starting to report to police. Council and housing also started to work together very closely to address some issues which perhaps appeared simple on the face of them, but behind the scenes were quite complicated, around rubbish removal, property, who owns what and whose responsibility is it to do this and that, and also graffiti removal as well. And we will talk a bit about some of the impacts there. One key thing that happened to engage community was starting a community meeting and inviting community to do safety audits. So we had some meetings, talk to community about, do you want to get involved? Do you want to come and do these walks? And people were pretty keen to do that. And so police and council and community members, there are about 11 families there, walked around different parts of the community, and they started to identify what it was in the community that needed repairing, or that needed improvement perhaps in the long term. And so these are some photos that you can see of things that people had pointed out, the bumpy road in the Meuse, and the crooked line and the graffiti and the rusted infrastructure. And so then housing and LAC have started to work together and really engage LAC in some of the maintenance around some of these buildings and bits of infrastructure. And council also started to do some placemaking, they call placemaking work, and that's, this particular project was around community art. So, for example, this is a really beautiful sculpture at the front of the neighbourhood centre, and that all community had a role in playing in creating those little tiles. And it was really interesting because a few weeks ago, somebody did a lot of graffiti in Bellambi, a lot of graffiti everywhere, but they didn't graffiti the sculpture, and so it's a really nice indicator that there's some ownership and pride around that. A really important part, clean wall, of the work has been engagement with community, and I would like to introduce two amazing women that we have met in Bellambi, Jean Barham and Auntie Donna Stewart, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how they've been involved and some of the impact that this work is starting to have. Okay, I think it's on.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa, and thank you, Natasha. Talking about meeting amazing people, Bellambi has been blessed, and I will say that, with some wonderful people, and here we are sitting with two of them, and I am so proud to be with you two today. I really am, and I'm so proud to be invited at an award ceremony where it's expressed for the work and dedication that the people are doing within the services. I've actually chosen not to call them services anymore. They've come into Bellambi and they're actually our friends. They're part of a team. I mean, they were team leaders, mentors, basically, and the uplifting of a community is quite visible. As for myself and just all the groups that we're able to be involved in, at one point, to say 2 years ago, you had absolutely no idea what we could do. We were living in this chaos. Actually, someone described me, they've seen a change in me. They told me that I used to walk around looking for 20 cents on the ground. And now I'm walking and looking and taking notice of my own environment because I'm actually quite proud of it. It's the most beautiful spot, and the uplifting of a suburb, and just the people coming out and asking what's happening, talking and saying, oh my goodness, isn't it lovely? There's no rubbish. As simple as that. We've come into Bellambi and there's no rubbish. It's lovely. Actually, I get reported that there's a can in Rothery Street, Jean. Can we get rid of it? And just things like that. I would love to express. I mean, don't want to say thank you all the time because it sounds glib, but truly to see, even personally, my own family, the flourish. We're just growing, and isn't it, Auntie Donna? Hey?
Jean, do you want to tell everybody about some of the activities that you've been involved in? Like
I'd love to. To anybody who wants to listen, they have to hear this. Oh, we've had some wonderful times. Well, everything we're doing, I must admit, is fun. It's not like, we're working. We're cleaning a rubbish. This day was wonderful. This is our graffiti removal day. And these walls, they were a war zone. That was a war zone there. That was just targeted. And that's our way to the beach. So, when people come into Bellambi, they were just looking, you've got a beautiful beach there, but look what we've got to go through to get there. Broken glass, rubbish. Anyway, our council actually cleaned it up beautifully and it inspired us. And so on a Sunday we got together and people walked past. They're all going, can we put a bit of your paint on? And we removed the graffiti, and it's been, I'm not sure, what is it, a month, Auntie Donna? Anyway, you can go there today and there's not. It's now a sacred wall. And that is noticeable, and people are noticing, oh my goodness, they've tagged down there, if they haven't tagged your wall.
A lot of that's due to the community involvement.
But and even the
just
children,
getting their children,
kids coming.
The amount of dedication they had into just making sure every little bit's done.
It was just wonderful. And actually we had somebody who is a tagger, or was now. And, here you go, here's a paintbrush we need. And he actually has changed his. I'm with you now, Jean. Yeah, I'm on your side. So really it is a wonderful thing. I'm really quite proud. I used to have to walk around and cringe, you come from Bellambi, and I said, we would sort of, But no, not now. I said, would you like to come to Bellambi and have a look at how beautiful it is? And it is quite a special place. It really is.
And do you want to tell us as well about the mentoring program? Maybe.
Mentoring.
Auntie Donna, would you like to
take the floor?
Yeah. Jean will just keep talking. So, Auntie Donna, would you like to talk about the mentoring program?
As a community event, we were actually handpicked by the panel to participate in a domestic violence mentoring team, so we can assist the police and with the less confusion of it all, and help people to get their feet back on the ground. And this went spectacular, and everybody participating in it has greater understanding of how to maybe now resolve a neighbourhood disputes, in which Jean had an actual reality hands-on experience with. So she had so much more experience from just doing this 3-day course of mentoring, and it's invaluable. Very invaluable. So now we can be members of the community where people can come to in between having to disturb the police when they're overworked and busy as.
And Donna, how many people are in that group? There's about 20 participants.
20? Yes, about 20.
Yep.
Yes.
And they'll all receive the statement of attainment
Yes,
as
and
well.
accreditation.
TAFE recognised course, and that is an example where police and TAFE actually came to the collective team and said, you know, we've been running this with other communities and we'd like to run it in Bellambi. You know, can you support us? Yeah.
And a lot of communities, like as Bellambi is the first time it's never really that strong. People are a bit hesitant, and then when that takes off, everybody then they want to get on. They say, when's it happening again? And that's why we like to have the continuity, so that it's actually engaging in other people to want to participate in the future development of Bellambi itself.
And can you tell us as well about some of the other things that other community members have been doing? So you were telling me about some other people just going and starting to clean up.
Oh yes, we've come across quite a few people that have actually just been doing their volunteering without volunteering. Like they just go and clean up the creek once a month, and another fellow just gets down and mows all the side of the hill and gets all the scrub out, and they've gone unnoticed. And we thought, no, we have to notice these people because they deserve to get that out, and then there'll be more of their friends want to come along and tag along. But they're happy to do it without recognition.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah, plenty.
Oh no.
I believe it's just in the beginning of its infancy. It's probably in infant stages, but it feels like it's already giant.
Awesome.
Everything just keeps growing. We joined one group, or well, not joined, we just formed a group. There was like 4 of us. Then the domestic violence mentoring, which led to actually even then having the opportunity to bring in the healthy food program into Bellambi, using the neighbourhood centre. You go there during the day and it is busy. There's something happening in every room. It is. And say maybe a couple of years ago people thought, oh, you know, that's a clique. Now they realise, we're allowed to use, this is for us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing some of your stories with us. And you can see up there's more stories just recently of what people have been telling us, 2 different Vickies. Our next theme, connection, support, inclusive communities, I'll just run you through a few examples of what we've been doing there. So I guess one of the key parts of that theme is around getting community to connect more and things like increasing volunteering. So we've been able to broker support from Volunteering New South Wales to provide mediation support and places in the Way to Go volunteer training management program to increase volunteer numbers at Bellambi Neighbourhood Centre, and that's a beautiful example of their newly opened food hub where people can go and get greatly reduced, beautiful fresh food and free fruit and vegetables and bread and basics as well. And that's completely volunteer run. And just some examples, I guess, of community activities as well. People have said to us it's really important that they're able to have more community activities to be able to connect and engage with each other, and so we've made that a really important part of our work.